Hey, good afternoon, good evening. It's the host of the Black Super Friends podcast. We're here for another episode of Monday Night Raw. We have some discussions regarding all the events that happened this week, whether it was local or whether it was on a state level. So, before we start the show, I always want to give a great introduction to the people that you know around the world as my best friends, which is the premise of the show. While I serve as host, I will try to maneuver and do the best I can with the all-star cast that really gives me hard time sometimes. But tonight, I believe everybody will cooperate. First, I'm going to go to the architect of confusion, the person who celebrates Black history every day of the year, not just February. You know him tonight as the Chris Leo.
Yes, yes. Thank you guys for showing up today on another Toxic Masculinity Monday. And we happy to have you. Now I don't completely agree with Draymond Green about taking it away, but I do agree with celebrating Black History 24/7. And more than that, I'm cheap because I buy my stuff after the holiday where it's half off. This number cost me $7. I suggest you do the same thing.
I actually think that's pretty brilliant. Second
Thank
of
you.
all, as I go to Washington next month on business, I will be pushing for February to get its full 31 days. In fact, I want to introduce legislation that will allow us to have 32 days in February. I don't care if it's Black History Month. I just think for mortgage and rent purposes, 28 days we need to be compensated for.
I just got one pushback on that. If
Yes.
you do that, then it takes away the months where it's 5 Fridays in it, and that's when you get paid 5 times in 1 month. It's a big time saving month, so that would kind of eliminate it.
Well, I'm still going to talk to Donald Trump about it and see where it goes. Right now, just put it on his long list and he's going to get it done. All right. Next, I'm going to go to the man who's going to be here, but technically not. We will see how it goes. He is the person who I get on every show. You love him, even though he trolls the hell out of me every episode. Tonight, I'm going to be as nice as I can with him, despite his technical difficulties. You will know him tonight as Zay, the international ladies' man.
I thought you were gonna be talking about Mario. Dang. Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Zay, are you in the county?
I am. County
Whoa, I
Florida.
heard you.
I told you every time we do the same thing.
You hear me, Zay?
I hear you and I see just fine. Like you too close. Back up. There you
It's
go.
amazing somebody so dark can have white teeth.
There
All
you go.
right, next, I'm going to go to my brother who was on the road this week, but he has the ability to record and be visual from any place in the country. That's what I respect about him. Always a concert professional. He travels with the best internet allowed, and tonight he's representing Palm Beach ATL and Harley Davidson bike riders all over the world. You'll know him tonight as Super Mario Senior, who rides his Harley in his all his glory and splendor.
Hey man, I'm so glad to join the club, man. I never felt such a warm welcome from all my brothers, man. I got so many texts and congratulations. Let's ride. It just felt like I was at like high school all over again on the football team. I feel you. I'm telling you, bro. You got to join this club. I never was a fraternity kind of guy because I don't listen to people who I don't respect. But man, this is a brotherhood amongst brotherhoods, man. You're gonna see me ride on.
All right. I'm definitely going to try to get me a bike before September so we can hit the road and have bar fights all over the country. There's no way to bud rather than fisticuffs, especially in the Daytona area. So I will be looking forward to that. In local news, I want to give a shout out, the best I can, to a legendary coach. I want to give a shout out to Coach Ross from Dwyer High School. I want to give a shout out to my family, T. Reed, and all the coaches that spent their time investing in young men's lives. And congratulations to Dwyer High School in Palm Beach County, Florida, on winning another basketball state championship. As a Suncoast alumni, I still congratulate Dwyer. That is a historic program that has been winning championships since its inception. It's a blueprint for excellence, and I must take my hat off to everybody involved, all the kids. You're a champion forever. I'm going to go first to one of their many alumni, one of their fellow players. You'll know him as point guard Chris Leo, who had 7 assists one game, 21 points, 19 rebounds, and he don't talk about it a lot, but I've seen the stat sheet. Chris Leo.
Okay, I remember that game, but thank you. I gotta correct you though, Horace. That was the starting point guard to 1999 Dwyer's varsity team. But man, yes, I want to give a big shout out to Dwyer High School. That's my alma mater, and the basketball team. Shout out to every one of those young men. I'm familiar with one, McNeil. I knew his father, Kaji. He was in the Ball for Life program before I left. I got to see him play up close, man. That's a great young man. But what more can I say, man? That's four. We got one in 2004 and 5. I think that was the Lee Meyer Corey.
Follow Towns.
3 years. Jacoby got him one, and now this team got them one. I heard it's a really, really nice team, man. I want to give a big shout out to them. But my biggest congratulations goes out to Coach Ross, man. That man is special to me. He came along at a time in my life where I was getting ready to go to high school. All my uncles had moved away to start their family. I needed male leadership, and he provided that for me, man. He made me. He showed me what accountability was like, what being responsible was like, being a good teammate was like. He showed me. He just instilled so many values in me. He was one of the main reasons why I got into coaching in the first place. He was the reason why I put so much dedication in when it comes to the kids. When it came to piling up smelly, stank kids, taking them home, buying them food for after practice and things like that. I got that from Coach Ross because he would do the same thing for me, man. He got things out of me that I couldn't. I just respect that man all the way. Married, just 100% a great example, man. I love you, Coach Ross. Congratulations.
Like I said, Dwyer, I listen, I would say this about Dwyer High School. Dwyer, a lot of the players, and I don't, God didn't make mistakes. A lot of those players that left Suncoast end up going to Dwyer at the perfect time. And man, there was a lot of ballers. Even when I was playing, a lot of our players like Larry Shealy, Spanky, the twins, Garrett Bell, Kenny Bowe, but like they had a mean squad back then. And that's why I always say to my sons, bro, between Daytona spring break and high school football games and basketball games, the Derek Harper, I wish those kids could experience how electric playing sports locally, man. That was something. That was a big deal. And back then, they still they had a section of the Palm Beach Post that had the high school sports, especially football and basketball, with the write-ups, the stats. Man, they really had you driven and ambitious to see your name in the paper, make the athlete of the week and whatnot. So I wish our kids could really witness that, man, because there was a time, especially Checkers, legendary time that people will never remember. Zay,
the D-Hop.
The D-Hop, boy.
Well, I'm gonna say shout out to Coach Ross, man. Coach Ross is something special, Chris. I toured all the high schools, but I ended up graduating from Dwyer. And all the players that came through Coach Ross have a different level of respect for a coach, almost like a father figure. His son is around here. He makes his son proud. His daughters, and like you said, you spoke to his wife, but any of the young men that came up under Coach Ross through the sports at William T. Dwyer had a perfect example of what leadership is. And I think that he spoke life into all of the students and the athletes that he had. So shout out to him on doing it again. Like, that is amazing. He's been winning championships since we were in high school, and he's still going like the Energizer Bunny. So, I mean, little guys that's coming up under him look toward him. Like Chris said, that's what got him into coaching. If he imparts into you and you see that you can impart into someone else, do it, man. That's the perfect example. But shout out to you guys again, man, on winning that state title.
Super Mario Sr., who was the athlete in his own right.
Hey man, first of all, I want to say definitely, just like everybody else did before me, congratulations to Coach Ross. If you know him, I hung around the whole. I played football a lot and baseball, but I hung around a lot of basketball players, which drew me to basketball. And I was one person who I always say Coach Ross definitely made me want to play basketball, even though I didn't give a damn about it, because he respected hustle over just shooting a bunch of threes. He respected hard work, dedication, defense, like all the stuff I stood for. He made me feel like, you know what, you okay, you got a team, you got a place on this team if you just come and do that. You don't have to be Steph Curry, you don't have to be dunking on everybody, you could be this, and that is quality stuff too. Like the Draymond Greens, he made me think those people are necessary in basketball. When Palm Beach County was had such high talent of shooters and point guards and and dunkers, but people who do the dirty work, Coach Ross really, really took them up on his wing. So shout out to him. But I was thinking about this as I followed some of our classmates because their kids play. And I was like, man, it's amazing that, like what Chris alluded to, that was 20 years ago, and Coach Ross was tapped in on that level with kids and relevant. It takes a lot for a man to go through 20 years of basketball and still be able to have the respect on that level from kids. Because if Chris coach, it's one thing is hard to do is to switch to those next eras when coaching kids. Because every era of kids come with a different level of getting on their understanding level. So for Coach Ross to be teaching kids, they could be his grandkids right now, and they had the same respect that we did, or people before us, like Tootie alluded to. That's amazing. That's amazing, bro. It's that is Nick Saban, like that is powerhouse. That is amazing. I think people don't really look at that. They're like, oh, Dwyer won again. No, Coach Ross, bro, has been consistently. This is the 4th year he won state, but he consistently had good basketball teams.
Yes.
And sent people to college. This is amazing. As a black man, like Chris alluded to, been married, raised his kids. This is he's been a pillar, and he don't play by grades or respect. Man, I think the community need to give Coach Ross a day, because this is amazing right here, and I think it get overlooked and overshadowed quite a bit. So shout out to them and all their glitz and their glory, and shout out to Dwyer, because once again, that's the school that made me a man. I'm gonna say one more thing, not to ramble on. Another thing you got to put a feather in Coach Ross' hat is because Dwyer has his own dynamic. Like Dwyer is a tricky school because you getting school from, like, you getting the privileged kids, and then you getting the bottom of, like, the people who can't afford basketball shoes, and then you getting the kids who parents own restaurants, and then you putting them on the same team and having to find a way to have them find common ground. Some of the people I got from being at Dwyer and playing sports and my friends now, it's no way we would ever met in life if it wasn't for that school. So I got to say, for you to be at the top of the list of that school too, not just having one demographic of people to coach, but finding communities. Hey man, shout out to Coach Ross, shout out to Dwyer, man, and it's always gonna be D block to the front.
Absolutely. And I want to second that what you were saying, Hardy, because I'm class of '99 might have been one of the whitest teams Dwyer had. We had a lot on that team, and all those guys are still my close friends to this day, man. And it was just coming up to Dwyer. I had never been exposed to that type of culture before in my life. I came from Lincoln. I came from Kennedy, where you might have had 10 white people from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. But then you go to Dwyer and it was a whole different experience. But I think Coach Ross was one of the people that made that transition seamlessly for me. I had relationships with his daughter. We was really, really cool. We hung out. His son was, me and him have a relationship, man. I respect that man higher than if I had a father, I would have that type of respect for that man.
All right. Well, listen, I gotta give respect because watching him practice and scrimmage against him, some of his teams let me know that I was not Dwyer material. I don't want to play defense and press that goddamn much in the game.
Mm.
But hey, once you get to the next level, you see that he was preparing you for the next level. And a lot of good people came out of his program, and everybody playing, most people playing, aspire to go to the NBA. So even though you got skills, he was determined to make men of good character out of the people that played for him. So I respect him for that. He definitely do need a day. That's something I need to shout out to our mayor about that if he ain't already got that in the works. Um, so let's talk about that. When you talk about next level, I tell you what, I learned one thing quickly. You could be a high school, you could be a superstar in high school, and then you go to college and you surrounded by all the superstars from their school, right? So that makes college a little more competitive. But then when you get to the NBA, you know how hard it is to make it to the NBA? Hell, back then they didn't even have. Now they have what the D League and all these different leagues and people coming from overseas. So I think it's special when you can see somebody that make it to the NBA. And this week, somebody who is an emerging star. Every time I think the NBA about to die, out of nowhere, some new NBA star comes in, and I always say Ja Morant reminds me of Jordan, the young Jordan that came in '86 or whatever, the one that was playing Boston and getting all the points. Couldn't win. He wasn't winning games, but he was a dog out there, dunking everything. Ja Morant is a special gift, and the thing that probably is going to gear this conversation is like most young men that get thrown into a shift, becoming a multi-millionaire, or maybe it's the fame. At some point, some of them, you hear them get into some situations. We only know them from the court, but we feel like we know them. But then when we see them do something out of the image or the character, it gets to be a high profile thing. So this week on a video on social media, there was a small clip of him in some undisclosed location brandishing what allegedly was a gun. And you ain't got no real friends out there because that video was shared, sent all over the place. By the next morning, it was a major news story. The NBA was involved. There was an investigation. The team got involved, and allegedly, I remember he was given 2 days suspension, 2 game suspension. Then he made a statement saying, "I'm going to leave and get myself together." Yada yada yada. I gotta respect Nike because they wasn't quick to action. They said, "Hey, we respect him taking his mental health, blah blah blah." So they didn't drop him. But I gotta ask y'all, what are y'all thoughts on his gun situation and the NBA for you to be such a prominent athlete, possibly the new face of the league to be? What do you think about the gun situation? Was it pre midlife crisis, or was it a young man that doesn't have anyone in his corner to say, "Hey, bro, you effing up"? What is it, Chris Leo?
I honestly don't know. I don't know which one, what it is, man. I got a theory. I think that there's always been some kind of fascination and some kind of relationship between hoopers and rappers. It's always been like this toxic relationship between hoopers and rappers. Rappers want to be hoopers, and hoopers want to be rappers, but rappers is emulating drug dealers and hustlers. So those two worlds just don't collide. I've seen this when Iverson was in the league. He wanted to be a rapper. The David Stern had to cancel his album. Shaq was a rapper. Kobe had a song with Brian McKnight. Chris Webber was a rapper. Dame Dollar's a rapper now. Even on the flip side, J. Cole playing basketball. Master P was in the NBA. There's always been this type of relationship when it comes from when hoopers and rappers, and a lot of times it's toxic. I don't know if it's a Memphis thing because I remember when Zebo had his incident in Memphis. I think that it may be the culture in Memphis is maybe too close to the basketball team. They don't seclude them enough because a lot of people say that when you go to those games, they're playing rowdy Memphis music, tear the club up, and that those type of songs like that. So that maybe they created a culture over there. I don't know. As far as I hear everybody telling the man to get better company, but at the same time, man, as a young man, it's hard. It's hard to take them people away from you because nobody else show you love. Nobody else give you compliments. Nobody else is there to help. So it's hard to let go those friends, if those are friends from past, or maybe it's associates that he's dealing with now. I don't personally know, but I think it's a black eye for him. I also think it's a black eye for black dads. Like that's what's supposed to be there to deter this. You know what I'm saying? He has a father. He grew up in a 2-parent household. This is, so when we say that fathers got to be there for these reasons, man, I think this got a black eye for T. Morant. Like, what is your impact on your son? I know he's grown, but at the same time, man, like, what are you saying to get him out of the situation? Because a couple of weeks ago, you was about to go on tongue wrestling with Shannon Sharp. Is that the example that you want to, set? So I don't know. I'm gonna take the time and listen to what's going on. I'm interested to see what Nike is going to do, because by Nike not suspending them, I think that it makes it a personal thing with Kyrie. I honestly 100% believe that it was personal now with Kyrie, instead of, because this is worse than what Kyrie did to me personally. But at the same time, I thought it was personal. I think Nike. I look forward to see what Nike going to handle this. But
all right, I'll say this. Listen, I will say this. I cheer for Black Dad. I cheer for him, for Mr. Ball and Mr. Morant. But I always do side-eye that behavior of Mr. Morant courtside. Half the time he dapping everybody, he got a cup in his hand and whatnot. So I don't want to judge, but I'm like, he may be a little more cooler than the typical dads. And then when I look back on him, I've even seen a change in him. So, when and I can't say much because I do know, not even midlife, when you're coming up to 30, man, you still trying to figure out who you are. You're looking for validation. Everybody telling you the man. That feels good, you know what I mean? And he came from suburb. He came from a 2-parent home and all of that stuff. And most dudes do get caught up on it. Shit, I know. I won't get personal, but them 2-parent home is something about the kids that come up that think like the other, like the gutter is just so fascinating. When you got kids that come from the gutter, like, man, what the hell are you talking about? Well, I would trade spots with you in a minute, but I know personally dudes who have everything at their fingertips and they want to be in the hood. They want to ride up, be on the block. They want to be in the hood, and it's a disservice to the parents. Super Mario Singh, I'm going to go to you first.
Y'all said some good stuff. So I really want to tread lightly on what I say about this. I got 2 boys, and like both of y'all alluded to, I definitely want to tread lightly because of being a black father. I believe T. Morant did everything from the outside looking in that you could do to raise your son. You stayed. He was a good example. He went to all the best camps, to the Christian schools, some kind of way, however it go. You ain't miss a big portion of his life. There's no scandals about T or anything. There's not even no scandals about T being in the streets. So then I have to go back to, I've been to Memphis several times. And thinking about what Memphis is, thinking about just I remember the first time going, just like, man, everything tough here. Like even the women, like aggressive. Like it's just like an aggressive area like that. Like Memphis, if you ever just be in there, I'm talking about not just the travel, like be there with Memphis people. That's a rough environment. And then I thought about all that and I said, yeah, damn all that. Let's be real. I have not heard of any alleged acts that anybody from Jaw's team, family, or friends have done. So I'm not going to cop out and say, hey, Jaw need to find new friends. His friends didn't have a gun. His friends ain't shot nobody. His friends ain't put the beam on. That's Jaw. One thing I know, too, about this is the person with the most money. It's hard for you to tell the person with the most money, hey, bro, you better stop. Hey, bro, you better do this. So most of the time, the person with the most money going to leave. So if the person with the most money want to fake like he a gangster or want to be a gangster and want to do all that kind of stuff, it's gonna be hard for the guy who working at Kmart but partying with you on the weekends to tell you, hey, bro, don't bring that gun in here. Because everybody else, not only are you a leader, but you're a leader amongst men. Because like y'all alluded to, Ja is the leader of a team, the Memphis Grizzlies, which is full of men that's older than him. He's just 23. So he's leading men at his job. And then he's supposed to, and then now we want to blame his 21, 22-year-old homeboys of being a bad influence. Bro, y'all didn't grow up in the hood. So these homeboys are not hood people. These are Christian school people he went to school with and people from the good neighborhood that his dad and them grew up in. So stop that. The last thing is, this what scared me. I believe, what else can T do besides I agree with? Then Tootie brought up what I really feel, and I didn't want to go there, but I have to now. I got 2 sons, and they're not going to grow up nothing like I grew up. Right? They're going to go probably to private school. They're probably going to go to all the camps that need to be taught to do stuff. And, if they want to play sports, they're going to do all that stuff. So then it's going to be like, man, at the end of the day, once you get grown, I think Chris said this, I can't do anything else I can do. I'm an advisor now. I tell my daughter that. She's 22. I'm an advisor now. I can't no longer put my foot on your neck and yeah. But one thing I do see is, and I keep saying this, when parents want to be friends with their kids, the lack of respect when it really matters is gone. See, I know people whose parents are broke and 70 years old, and they can come in the house and don't cuss, and they're rich. I hear Sharon and Sharp allude to a lot of times his grandma, and yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, when him and his brother were millionaires, and they still respected them. And he always said, I didn't know want to embarrass my grandma. His grandma barely even come to a game. T is at every game. Like he said, throwing it up, doing all that. So sometimes being a dad matters more than being your friend. I always tell my kids, you don't have to like me because I love you. And I think parents getting a lot away from that, trying to be friends and trying to be the cool dad. But see, I ain't gonna lie to you. Everybody know Chris called me Major Pain. I'm not your friend. I am not your friend. I am your daddy. And I'm okay with you not liking me for 10 years. Because you will love me for the rest of your life. And I think, like Tootie alluded to, that's a big part of this. Not to throw stones at him, but I think that we got to get back onto the setting that boundary on. This is how a man acts. Period. Go ahead.
Jose.
Turn your mic on. You are a professional.
Put the thing in your mouth.
Horace rubbed off on me. Hey, stop talking that talk, man. What's wrong with you?
Put the mic up to your mouth, man. God damn it.
Okay.
You glitching and shit?
Relax, man.
Don't take shit serious.
Relax, man. God, you extra. Anyway, though, y'all made some good points, man. You got to remember that Ja Morant is a young man, and we made mistakes at that age too. Not as catastrophic as he did, but got to give him some grace. But that is a big mess up. As far as his father, he can't, like you said, all he can do right now is advise him, because you really can't tell him what to do. He's his own man. He's gonna do what he wants to do. So you just hope that he chooses wisely. And as far as the circle of influence that he have around him, that ain't really what's happening. But again, that's something that he's gonna have to find out on his own. Again, his father can holler at him, his uncles or whoever is close proximity that will that can pour into him, but it still ain't no guarantee. It all starts with Ja. He got to do better. But Chris, I'm with you about what you said with Kyrie, because man, listen, that Kyrie didn't do that much. It was, you know what I mean? And this is, you got a gun in the club, allegedly.
You took a gun on the trip. You took a gun on a company plane.
That you ain't supposed to do. Like, and that's crazy, because I heard Paul Pierce, if I'm mistaken, come to his aid saying, it's crazy. Nobody says what happens to black basketball players and things like that. But man, you can't govern yourself like that at a regular 9-to-5 job. You can't take a gun with you in the company car. If they spending millions of dollars on you, you can't do a lot of stuff. We are invested in you. You understand what I'm saying? And I think he don't understand that clearly. Like Horace was talking about, so many people want to make it to the NBA. It's easier to make it to the NFL than the NBA, and you made it and are playing. Don't squander that opportunity. That's all I see. I don't want to be hard on him, but I do want to be stern. Where you fucking up. You understand? But grow from this, and hopefully you can grow from this, because like you said, it started with a 2-game suspension, but I see there are talks of 50 plus games, talks of the feds, and Nike is, I think, the least of his issues right now. So he really better do some soul searching and some praying, and hopefully get himself together so that he can continue this illustrious career that he already embarked on. But that's what I see on that.
Well, before we go to that, I want to give anybody think they're going to the NBA, just know when you're a part of the NBA, you are part of a multi-conglomerate and you are a product. And to know that means that you're almost seen as a piece of this soap opera. You're a prize. You are property, well-paid property. But like Carmelo Anthony says, they watching you everywhere. You are watched beyond belief. So it's nothing that he's doing that they don't know about. Hell, they got people assigned to him. So you high profile and you can damage their image. Yes, they have somebody assigned to you like the hip hop police that's watching your moves. They know about your crew. They know about a whole lot of stuff. So if you knew that, I think it would be in your best interest to just move the best way possible.
Just take notes from Gilbert Arenas. Like, come on, man. That's the closest thing to you right now. Like before that AI, like Derek was saying, trended down this same thing, and it didn't fare well for him. So don't do that, man. Don't repeat history. Learn from it. So that's all we can hope for that young man.
Hey, I'll say this too. I just want to break this up too. I want to, because you know I like to put all the stuff on the table. You know this is his 4th thing he done did, right?
Mm-mm.
All right. That's when we get to like, oh, we gotta keep giving them how many chances you want, because you know the Palm Beach, I mean whatever the post is of that place had him fighting the 17-year-old. Y'all heard about that? That's coming out now, right? He invited the 17-year-old over to his house who was like and beat him up and then pulled a pistol and put it in his waist. Cool. Yeah. Then just last month, the Pacers said somebody was pointing beams off guns, but then they swept up on the rug because they said they couldn't prove that the beam was on a gun coming out of van from the bus. So it was just a red beam. So they think that it was just one of them red beams that you can have on a pen and it would point at the bus. Bruh.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this. Here we go again with the no accountability. Bruh. No. You would have got arrested on the first time. You got arrested because right now, if you're 20 and you beat up a 17-year-old, you go to jail. So it's like okay, Ja made a mistake. No, Ja keep making mistakes. Like Ja keeps doing this, and Ja's so rich that his mistakes can cost a lot of kids their life. Ja is a millionaire and never gets frisked in club. If he think it's okay to make another mistake and bring a gun in there, and some other kid come in there and slap him, and he shoot up the club, then it's what? Like mistakes, like manslaughter is a mistake. That's a mistake. You can go to jail for 30 years on a mistake. So it's like, we gotta start acting like you got all these mistakes, being this color, making that much money. You don't have the leisure to have that many mistakes, my brother. You have used up all your get out of jail free cards, because you setting a lot of kids back right now by doing all this dumb stuff. It's gonna be rules implemented because of the stuff that you're doing right now. So, you
ain't that type. You ain't cut like that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, then you blaming the kids. I looked at the show and then I seen Skip Bayless say, we would have never knew this if Ja himself hadn't posted this video, right? Ja posted this video of him in the club with the gun. That's him. He posted this. Bro, you could have had that gun in the club. For one, you in the strip club with your shirt off. Let's just get that straight. You in the strip club with your shirt off. I don't know what's going on here, but let's just that's weird. If I'm T, we got to start our conversation with, son, why was you in the strip club with your shirt off? But that's another story. And all the people in there, you more naked than the strippers. And you got and with all these women and all this money, and you thought it's good to say, here go a gun. And then you had the gun off Harlem Nights that they told him to put away. What is we doing here, bro? Everything about this is clown shit. Excuse me. Everything about this, bro. You got a little 32, you waving like this around in the club with your shirt off in the strip club as a millionaire. Bro, that's the Jesus.
Bruh. Collectively, this man probably makes 20 to 30 million a year, so I can't feel sorry for him. Collectively, we barely make 20 million in our lifetime, and this man is going to F that up and buy
And
himself.
I'm agreeing with it. Like Gilbert made that mistake, and then what?
Exactly.
Dog,
That's but what?
Right, John keeps doing this. this is not his first. That's what I'm saying, bro. This is the top of the mountain.
So that's the reason why I said he better hope that he better get on his knees and pray and get himself together, because, like you said, in about the string of about a week or two, a couple of things surfaced about
him. Chris alluded to it. They done, bro. You was in outer state, bro, in the club directly less than an hour after you just lost a game. How the hell did you get a gun? Like that, right now he's answering stuff to the feds about how did you get this gun from one state to another state, because you put that bitch on a plane in the air and traveled over to another. Like, bro, come on, but that's that.
Yeah. Now you got to pay somebody to take that charge, or feds don't give a damn.
Yep. You definitely got to pay somebody to take that charge, and then your boys ain't like that, because they went to St. Memphis Christian too, so they like whoa, y'all. I mean Terrence. They call him by his real name.
Hello, Tamaris.
Tamaris. Whoa.
I don't care. Like, listen, I like you, bro, but I'm not getting raped in prison
with
anybody.
I'm not gonna get stopped.
Y'all brought it.
Kids from good homes, that's all they think prison is, a rape fest. Like, I'm not going to prison.
Kids that listen to Charleston White.
Oh, man.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't talk about that.
They ain't like him for
nothing. When they do catch Charleston White, boy, Jesus, boy, it's going to be crazy. Man, this is a short show. Hey, we down to our last topic.
No, we ain't. Hold on. No. We got to talk about this weekend, good buddy. We got to talk about this weekend. I see you with look. I ain't never seen you
all that black.
I ain't never seen you look real smooth in the pictures, but I gotta know, was that a date? Because I have to say, Officer was looking magnifique.
You like the video work? So you like the video?
I like the video. I like the way you sit back in on like the angle that you got with like over over your shoulder. That was smooth. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a fly event, man. What was going on that weekend?
Oh, first off, I got to give out the shout out to Bridget and Carla. The mayor threw a party for his wife on the rooftop in Riviera Beach, one of the most magnificent places in our city. So Lady Felder and Boss Lady Bridget, they had a party, probably the party of the year. It was smooth, brother. It was smooth. All black affair. They wore white. It was just a vibe, man, to see everybody just lay back kicking. Yeah, they even serving lobster up there on the rooftop. So shout out to them for that black excellence, man. They're just amazing people. Unlimited cigars, and it was just a vibe. Was it a date? I'm gonna keep 100 with you.
Yeah,
it was a date with a great close friend of mine.
Wait a minute, hold on. What are you talking about?
Listen,
be more descriptive.
It was not a
romantic, dog. I gotta say, they looked romantic.
I'm a romantic guy.
Okay.
So listen, my friend. Well, y'all didn't all hung out with her. Mm-hmm. She's an amazing. She's special in this sense. All she likes to do is wear police clothes and work. You know what I mean? She eats like a linebacker, but don't gain no weight. She cool. She's a community superhero, and she's one of them people that, as gorgeous as she is, she does not like attention. She don't like it, right? So we were talking about video work, and I was like, "Hey, you know I'm a master at this." I said, "Tonight I'm gonna make you feel. I'm gonna make a video and make you feel like you're the most beautiful person in the world." And that's what I did and captured. So we always have fun. We're close friends. And I just wanted to make my friend feel special for that evening.
You're gonna capture something else if you keep that up. That work was top notch. Boy, I'm talking about some guys with drones that'll be mad at you about that 1-2 that you put down at photography, videography.
Somebody called me the Manny Fresh, and I have taken that to new heights since then. So, hey man, she's an amazing person, man, and
So all right, so now that's all the small talk is all right. So this is what I gotta say. You definitely right. She's a beautiful person, inside and out. That's no question. I'm saying just off of like just morals, right? It's hard to find that, right? And I know you. I think you're one of my most valued friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like you have a lot to gain too. So this is where I always get perplexed in the dating scene. When I hear such things like, it's crazy out here. Women kind of want this. Men kind of want this. Me and Chris, I'm going to throw him on the bus right now. We talk a lot. And then one thing I know he harps on, contrary to everybody else, is just reciprocity. Like not even much so as reciprocity in the relationship, just in the beginning. Like, if I'm showing you attention, just reciprocate that enough to make me feel like we in this. I hear Zay talk about trust and just, getting himself together before he do it. And I hear you talking about finding a woman who don't want you for everything. So then I say, well, because I'm married. So I looked at the checklist, right? As I looked at your well put together video, monologue.
Yeah.
Montage. Thank you, Zay. And I said, well, hold up. She's always showing love to Horace. Always. They're greatest of friends. Check. Yeah. She don't want you for just your stuff. She actually values you as a person. Check. Yeah. You together and is keeping yourself together and increasing yourself and ready for love according to 4 shows ago. Check. So at this point, it's like, why would I go to the jungle and a deer walk into my deer stand and I say I'm still hunting? The deer right here. Why you just don't shoot?
Why you ain't busting?
Gather.
I'm saying it's gathered. It's sitting in the stand. It has been gathered. Put it in the sack. Go home and prepare the meal.
Listen, well, you know what?
No, I don't. I want Horace to answer this question.
You're right.
That's what we want to do.
So why is this not? Oh, am I missing something? Because to me, it seemed not only did you do good work, and we know this because I'm horrible with the camera. I've been around you a million times. You could take the smallest event and make it look like we at the prom. We know that. Kudos. You're a producer of this show. We know you do that. It was the chemistry. You can't lie on chemistry. So I'm saying, and it's going both ways now. This ain't one way. So I'm saying, what am I missing? Why this is not just more than what it is?
I don't have an answer. I don't. Listen, amazing person. We have fun. Everything's amazing, great. And shoot, I don't know. I never even thought about it, bro. Honestly, I didn't. So y'all are technically right. You know what I'm saying? So you're technically right. I can't say nothing else. That was. I don't have an answer. So y'all got me dead left. I thought that video got so much attention that it's still going viral.
Good together. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not that you did a good video because you did. I'm saying it's the chemistry. Like, y'all act like y'all look like y'all was in love on this magical date. That's how that video. That's how that looked.
You gotta have a face.
She's blushing. She's blushing, and then you come over, then you're blushing. Like, you didn't. Y'all not actors now. Don't get you. Okay, you might be Steven Spielberg, but you ain't no damn Denzel and Neil Long. So y'all not acting. This is real life chemistry. So I'm saying, with all this chemistry brewing up, because you know me, I got to shoot. I got to go down the flames. I got to go down. I know you're a little more reserved. So I want to know, what's the hold up in your head for you not doing it?
I value her as a friend. Listen, She just got out of a relationship not too long ago. So I don't know. Sometimes you just value somebody as a friend, and you know, hey, listen, y'all. I wish I had an answer for you, man. But that video got so much feedback. You know, I just started to show my amazing video work because it was probably my best work. But you know, I did it with so much intention, and you know, I do just want people to feel love, and sometimes I want to show them what I see through my perspective, through my
Yeah.
lens.
Hey, you know, I did.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want.
don't be talking sexy to us, man. Don't be
I
trying to
want
talk
to see
sexy to
it.
us.
I listen. I know the feeling. Yeah, her name's Jaleesa Hardy.
Yeah, sounds good.
I know the feeling. I wanted her to feel loved. I feel you. I feel you, my brother. Hey, I'm gonna quit busting your balls, but I just had to ask that. I had to say I've been waiting too. I was like, man, what the hell? This looks magnificent. My wife even say, well, okay, look at Tony. He looks smooth.
I hated
Everybody.
it. I hated that outfit so bad. My feet was hurting. Them shoes I had on, the pilgrim shoes, and my feet was hurting. I felt like a chick, man. My feet were hurting so bad.
We couldn't tell by that video.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like he was in Wonderland. Both
But
of
I
them.
know what I did. I strategically did. I didn't invite Zay nor Norman to that party.
I
It was
see that.
30 to 1.
That's almost a violation.
He does that a lot lately. I've been watching him and watching how he moved. He
30 to
repping back.
1. It was 30 to 1 on the rooftop. And I was not getting
I had to talk to Ron. I had to tell him next time, just send my mine directly because I see he sent my invitation through you. I told him he can't do that. He talked to me later on that night. I understand.
No, he asked me. He said, "You gonna invite your brother?" I said, "Zay, nope." Norman,
He told
nope.
me the whole filthy story. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm like, nah, I don't feel like, nah, not tonight. They think they're gonna get all the women, no more.
I had a family shindig to get to anyway. It was okay.
No John Wick, no John Wick activity was going to be allowed on that trip there.
I must say it did look like a nice event though, man. Tell Ronnie he did a good job for his wife. It looked I looked at Don pictures too, and they looked at, you know what I'm saying? There was some nice looked like
I
a nice
see dog pictures too.
Wait a minute. Chris Leo had a date with Unlimited Meat this weekend, and he really enjoyed himself.
Devoli.
I really hope you're talking about Texas Brazil.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if not, the Black Super Friends inbox is gonna go lamb.
Not like that.
I would say, Toya, do tell, please tell. But I will say this,
Chris, catching the meat in his mouth.
Chris, you can hold a minute. Wait a minute. Chris, you got a clone, boy. If your daughter don't got your personality, God damn it, buddy. Listen, I was laughing at that video. That's definitely your child.
She can't do jigging, man. What's that name? I think it's named the Gritty. I guess that's the name of the dad.
The Gritty, yeah, bro. I bust out laughing. So, and even to see your sister smile a little bit was, I love to see family outings, man.
Yeah, that was cool, man. We got to sit down, chop it up, man. We had to it was a daddy auntie crisis we had to get through with her, but yeah, man, it was a really good weekend. I thought we packed so much into like I say 20 hours.
Yeah,
it was amazing. I had to pick her up from a student council convention at Leesburg High School, so it was a busy day. We meant to go to Lakeland for the game. We thought it was going to be a little later. We thought we could go to dinner first and then go. We found out it was 5:30. We weren't going to be able to go to the Dwyer game, but all in all, it turned out to be a really good weekend. Ant-Man is trash.
Damn. Well, I'm gonna watch Creed 3 tomorrow and see what it be like. Hey, did she go to Leesburg High School? Did she go to Leesburg High School?
No, she go to Eustis.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say Michigan's a teacher, principal at Leesburg High. Good old redneck university up there.
Yeah.
Let me close out on a good tip Did y'all watch Chris Rock and his unique style of comedy? Everybody's talking about it. It's on Netflix. Who want to tell me about this comedy special and what made it so newsworthy and trending? Jay, do you got Netflix?
I actually do. Netflix and chill a lot. Chris was stupendous, man. Let me tell you. Chris was the example of control your emotions. Man, we all know Chris got the hell slapped out of him in front of everybody. Everybody, has something to say about what they would have done if given that same disposition. And Chris took it on the chin. While everybody else pause. While everybody else, had something to say and jaw jack, Chris said nothing. And I like the chess move that he did. Chris didn't a move out of the 48 laws of power, which is fuck you, pay me. I'm not telling you my story for free. You're gonna have to pay to hear it. And boy, when he said it, he had a lot to say. And like Horace alluded to, Chris does have a very different brand of comedy. To a lot of people, he's not funny. But man, does he say the things that you want to say or that, kind of just stirs up the room. And he did a whole night of that. I mean, he left nothing untouched. And he finale'd it with what everybody wanted to hear him talk about anyway. And he finally broke his silence. And I think it was masterfully done the way he did it because Will can't say anything and Jada can't say anything else. After he got done, he put it together too well. If they say anything else, now they bother him. And it turns into a whole nother other situation. So he actually got the upper hand. I think Will's hit was hard at first, but Chris was swift and equally as vicious. So I don't know, but I liked it. It was funny. I laughed. What did you get from it, Art? Did you see it or Chris?
Well, for me, I looked at it kind of differently. I think Chris Rock is an amazing comedy. He's one of my top 5. I love his comedy. I think I called it intelligent, high class comedy, where you mix in political, real life situations, and it's not just gesture comedy. Like I'm funny because I got this catchphrase, or I'm goofy up there. So I enjoy him. I think he's an amazing comic. I just don't think he's a great listener. Now I don't know if, but between the last year, have him and Will Smith had any kind of conversation? I think not, but the last thing he heard Will Smith say was, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." And he went back up there with his wife's name in his mouth, calling her bees and all. Now, the man told you to keep his wife's name out of your mouth. Now, again, you can do whatever you want to, but at the same time, now, bro, you can't have it both ways. You can't violate the man after he told you not to do it, and then still be complaining, saying, "Oh well, Will Smith is bigger than me, and he hit me." And no, bro, you have to defend yourself. Now I understand that's how your mama taught you and your parents taught you that you don't fight in front of white people, but everybody's parents didn't teach them that way. My parents taught me that at least, at minimum, if I see a man walking up on me, it may be a threat of violence. Protect myself, defend myself, do something. And even if you don't want to do nothing, dog, if you got all this smoke to say it to that man. Say it to him. Have a conversation with him, whether it's public or whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, dog, you still have to defend yourself. The problem isn't going away, Chris. The problem is you're almost 60-year-old man and you're still timid. That's what you got to change. That's what you must change. You don't have to fight nobody, but the least you need to do is step to that man and tell him don't try you like that no more. He made a direct demand. Keep my wife's name out your mouth, and you went back up there and did it again. So if something happened to you, bro, he just told you not to do that. I respect you 100%, but that's that man's wife. You might want to chill out. You was dropping a lot of B's and you was dropping a lot of stuff. You was worse. And then for you to say she started it, come on, dog. Come on, bro. That's a childish defense. she started it. That's what women do. That's what women do, bro. So I don't know. I respect Chris Rock. I don't agree with what Will Smith did, but at the same time, man, come on now. You ain't got to hit that man, but you can defend yourself, block a punch or something. Maybe your parents need to talk to you that.
What if that's his defense mechanism, though, Chris?
It's
I
not
mean, the gloves
good.
are off.
It's
The
not
gloves
good.
are off.
Defend
But
yourself.
I mean,
He's a man.
after you slap me, I don't care about nothing you said. But that's just me personally. So I don't know, but that's just me. I think he did what he does, and he took it to his craft. So if I'm gonna react, I'm gonna make some money off of it. I'm not just gonna react off sheer emotion. So you got to change. You said he's 60 years old and like timid, but it's actually smarter because now it's documented. You got to move with tact now. Attack me again if you want. You might not attack anybody else. And I pray that it don't ever get to that. But I hear what you're saying, and that's actually what we're trying to teach away from. That's why I said he was a great teacher of controlling his emotion and doing it that way. Because I'm sorry to go on, and I think Hardy might talk about this a little bit different. Chris didn't grow up like how we did. He grew up around white people. That's what white people do. They do documentation. You ever got fired? They do a paper trail. That's a paper trail. You do anything else. He ain't took no action. He ain't did nothing legal, took no money.
Calling that man wife a bitch. You're calling that man wife a bitch.
Words don't hurt you, and he gonna blame it on his
words do hurt.
Words
do hurt.
Okay,
they do.
I'm just telling you that part. But go ahead. I'm sorry, guys. What y'all take?
I will say this. I definitely believe one thing about Chris Rock. I'm not a fan of Chris Rock per se. Do I give him credit in his line of comedy? Like that his I don't think any other African American does his line of comedy. And he found his niche in it. I think you have to see the mental aspect of what he's doing as well. Because imagine if your wife really was a bitch. You know how many times a dude, like, it really don't bother him, but you disrespected my wife and it bothers my wife. So now I got to come over and do something because, shit, if I don't, now I got problems with my wife because I didn't, defend her honor or her whatever, whatever. So with him being slapped, it's almost like I'm not going to physically attack you, but mentally, I'm messing with Will right now, and I'm keeping it going. Because at this point, you might have thought this would have died out and became a memory, but he's really milked it. So he's let it go on, and people have been waiting because we love drama. We're letting it draw on until I decide I want to tell my story, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to be disrespectful. I'm going to say what I really want to say. I'm going to admit that I can't whoop you. So now I make you look like the weak man. I make you look like the after person. And I kind of find a way to profit off a little bit of victimization. But you got to think about this. You slap me. Okay, you slap me. But now I'm over here being twice as disrespectful, and it's a no-win situation. You going to slap me again?
You gonna throw stones and hide your hand, though.
But see, that's you. You feel that way. And most women are going to feel that way. But for men, and we ego-driven, it's going to F with me. Especially that joker that mentally got up here.
Checkmate.
Bro. We all got that person that you really want to whoop, but it's almost like a no-win situation. So for Will, this is my wife. I know she got issues. I know what I got. But you can't tell. You can't talk about it. This is my wife. I have to defend her honor. And I got the person that I just, for my woman's honor, just took the biggest L for a while. And the dude comes right back. It's almost like, shit, I'm doing it again. So you're going to slap, right? I can go on and on.
My life scared of no man.
Mario.
Free right now, man.
You wouldn't. That's no different than the man that say, yeah, I can't fight. Or the dude on the job, be like, yeah, I know I got a little thing. Like some people, they find a way to laugh at their own pain. And that's pretty much what Chris is doing. Super Mario Senior.
First of all, I think like all y'all alluded to, he was definitely a good comedian. I'm a fan of Chris Rock too. And I think that he did what Chris Rock do. He delivered a good show on the show. On the topic, it's crazy that we always, like, the timeline of life, the way it be depicted by people, it be it can confuse the reality of what really happened. And then narratives can get pushed. But we always got to remember, the way he said it is the exact way it happened. I don't agree with it started at first, but that's the exact way it happened. Will Smith didn't get an Oscar or whatever it is for a movie that nobody thought was damn that good, right? Or however it go. It was amazing. He didn't get it. So she said, what kind of man, like Chris Rock should quit and should stand in solitude for his brother, and he should do this and this and this and this, right? Nothing negative, just saying really what she felt Chris should do. Chris said something about, you don't tell me da-da-da-da. Words, again. He didn't say bitch. He didn't call her a hoe. He didn't say anything. He said G.I. Jane. That was not bitch. That was not hoe. And then you slapped me. So now, you want me to have any respect for you? Because one thing I understand in life is this, and I'm learning this in corporate America. Every fight ain't fist. And if you go into the world thinking, oh, he just tried me. I seen how he wrote this email, so he need to say this to my face. And all, yeah, that's cool in the world of the streets and all that kind of stuff. That's not the real world. See, one thing I'm learning every day is the way I grew up is not the real world. 80% of the world don't think like how I grew up. It's only 20% of people in these little areas that think that honor has to be checked. You have to do this as a man. No, it's a lot of men who right now you can walk into a room and slap. It's a lot of men who will call the police on you if they feel threatened. It's more of those people than people who will stand up to people twice their size. I'm understanding that now. Understanding that Chris knows it's a no-win. See, this is the 48 Laws of Power, and I'm so happy I wrote that book. It's a no-win in fighting Will Smith. Okay, I hit him back, and then he pummels you, so then you are still a joke. But one thing for sure, I looked at this. He put Will in a way he cannot win. He can't win. Now, because now you've already slapped him, and he did nothing. He's done nothing. He did nothing, right? Okay. So now he did nothing, and you slapped him. Cool, right? Bro, every 60 people, I'm gonna post it on the page. Tommy Minnesota called Jada 1,002 vision. What's the other comedian name? He said she the most skanky. Dog, people was talking so bad about Jada, it didn't make no sense. Bro, nobody's gonna justify him slapping the smallest, and he's his friend. So if you follow Chris Rock path, I know. We got friends who we know, bro, you're not really a fighter. That's not what you do. Or associates. Like this nigga not. So out of all the people in the world who talked about Jada's entanglement and talked about all this stuff, that's the person you want to slap. Him saying G.I. Jane, he just had to take his name out her mouth. No, bro, you knew Chris was a bitch. See, that's when I don't like bullies. See, I'm the other way. I don't like bullies. I don't like for you to walk up and just have to slap that man. Because that mean cool. I'm okay with you slapping him. Then part 2 of your slapping spree should begin too. In part 3, in part 4, you should be just defending your wife honor all around. You should be just like, what? You said something about Jada too. I'm looking for you. And you said something about my black wife too. I'm looking for you. Where's all that energy? Because you didn't. You apologized. You said that's the worst mistake in your life. So now when he come on here and call her 72 bitches, because he did, and not on purpose, now what are you going to do? Because if you slap him, you'll never be in another movie again in Hollywood. Because Hollywood, dog, this man is so great at what he did. He turned Will Smith into the boogeyman of the industry. The most summertime. He defeated him. There's nothing you can do. If Chris Rock slapped him right now, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. I would hate to be Will Smith right now because there's nothing I can do. Because me slapping you does nothing for me. It makes me lose all my money, my credibility, and you just went and apologize. If somebody get on the stage and offend Jaleesa, I'm never apologizing. I'm gonna slap you and never apologize. Never in my life I'm apologizing. I'm never apologizing. You offend my wife, I'm gonna slap the shit out you and never apologize. So I don't want to hear that. Oh, what is he? Bro, you apologize. Why did you apologize? If you felt so mad about somebody defending disrespecting your wife, why did you apologize? Because Chris Rock didn't take it back. So why did you apologize, bro?
Well, the way I look at it is this. I think for this Will Smith slapped Chris Rock for the same reason Chris Rock joked on Will Smith at that time at that event, because they both think each other soft. It wasn't a one-way situation. It was a two-way situation. He wouldn't have said that about Ice Cube wife. He wouldn't have said that about Snoop Dogg's wife. He said that about Will Smith's wife because, for one, he had a history, and two, he thinks that Will Smith is a soft rapper because.
So what about all the other people, Chris? Not the
Will Smith character or
people who've been saying it.
What's that?
What about all the other people who've been saying this about Will Smith's wife?
Yep.
Like this is the top.
Like I said, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock for the same reason Chris Rock picked on Will Smith. Both of them think they're soft. So they thought those were easy targets. That's why I think both of them did that. Now, again, you can do whatever you want to, but don't. That's what women do. Entice a man, aggravate a man, egg on a man. If a man react, then say, well, I'm just a woman. You can't do that. I'm a woman. No, bro, you knew you were small in the first place. Stop calling that man wife out of her name. Just show that respect. If you don't want to, that's cool. But this whole notion that Will Smith has lost, he put out a movie months before this successfully. He just was on the stage accepting another award. They haven't.
He just cried. He cried for 4 months before he put that movie out.
And he's about to do a movie with Michael B. Jordan. No, he has not lost.
He cried for 4 months and went on a tour of apologies before that. What are you talking about? That's what I'm talking about. See that timeline thing again? Bro, he went on a tour of apologies.
Do it again. He's sorry and will not do it again. Chris Rock, on the other hand, is trying to do some sneaky ass backhand shit.
No, but he didn't ever apologize. That's my point. See, that's what I thought. Chris Rock is standing on what he said. He's continued. He's
hiding behind being small and timid.
Chris,
you see it one way. It's called POV, Chris. At this point, I'm telling you.
Yeah, thank you.
Your point of view, but I'm telling you, hey man,
Chris, I gotta say what they about to say. Chris, you have a unique position where you tend to think that people are going to handle things the way you would handle them. And the things you may say, this is how a man should handle it or how the game will require. And that's just not the case. That's just not the case. There are more. That situation there.
You gotta grow.
I hear you.
Bro, you can't stick your hands up and stop a man from hitting you. Or if you see a man coming up to you, nothing teaches you to back up and protect yourself.
Listen, Will Smith went up there and slapped that man. That man did not expect it. But guess what?
He's walking up to you.
Chris,
defend yourself.
Chris, how
did this topic get you so angry?
I'm just saying, why we
somebody
got up out that seat, walking towards you. Nothing makes you at least dodge. Nothing makes you at least think like, whoa, what's going on here?
This is major TV. This is live TV, and one of the biggest audience or the biggest stages.
I believe that Bootsy had to did that, Chris Rock would have done. Yeah. I believe that Bootsy had got out his seat and walked up on Chris Rock, he would have been like, oh shit, but this is Will Smith. This is Muhammad Ali. Like he said, this is you didn't think Will Smith was gonna slap him.
Not at all.
Right. So
you were looking for the joke, to be honest.
But I'm saying if Bootsy get out his seat, you're gonna think, Bootsy finna fuck Chris up instantly. You're gonna just think that in your head. Without him walking up on you, you're gonna be in the seat looking like, Bootsy, hey, somebody better grab Bootsy. That's what I'm saying. So regardless of the slap, I'm saying now that has been done, all that's behind. Because one thing for sure, people always say this, bro. You can call a man a bitch or whatever. He could have had Will Smith arrested. He said no. I don't want no charges pressed. The bitch who you saw on the bitch, he could have had him locked the fuck up. No, you can't. I can say what I want to you, but I can press charges on you once you touch me. We're grown men. This is not. But regardless of it, huh?
I'm not calling him a bitch.
Regardless of not a man, that man had enough honor to say, I don't want that other black man arrested. When everybody kept asking him, hey, you want him locked up? You want him disbarred? No, I'm straight. I'm gonna handle it this way. I'm gonna go and do what I do. I tell jokes and push the issue. This is my defense. All his life, dog. I watched Chris Rock. He said he learned how to tell jokes because he was getting bullied. So his defense mechanism is, if you bully me, I joke harder. If you bully me, I joke harder. That's his whole life story.
That I'm too small for you to do something to.
All his life, he's been saying this. That's why I say, if you're a fan of Chris Rock, you know this is his life story. He's been picked on all his life. He's been saying, I can't beat these guys. I'm a puny guy. I'm weak. I'm never gonna gain no weight. So I'm gonna find my way to destroy them with words because I can't beat them. Dog, that's his life story from him being a kid.
And that's been your moniker, Chris. Everybody hates Chris for that reason. For that reason, right there, Chris.
No,
verbal ad hominem attacks.
No, Chris.
Verbally disrespecting you. That's a female tactic.
Chris, I want to ask you one question. After Will got up and did all this in his wife's honor, who's been trending for months,
bro, what she said?
Nothing.
Did she co-sign his actions?
She did.
He left him in the wind. She left him in the wind. Oh, I don't know why he did that. Oh, it was uncalled for. It was inexcusable.
I said that's not his happened. I don't think it was a good idea. I thought it was
the woman that he got up. The same woman left his ass in the wind. Oh,
yeah, that's the point, Chris. It don't matter if it was a good idea. It matters that I did this for you. So even if you don't think it's a good idea, you don't publicly come out and say that. As my wife, and because see, we talk about female traits. Not being able to control your emotions is a female trait too. So when Will Smith went up there and slapped, he couldn't control himself because a man was talking about your wife in that moment. So you couldn't control yourself. You were overwhelmed with emotions. Cool. I'm saying all that happened. I'm agreeing with you, Chris. He smacked him because he was a big no. Okay. But then the woman who Honor you was defending can't come out and say you were wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
Publicly.
Oh, I agree with all this. I agree with everything. All I'm saying is this is how if I'm Chris Rock, and this is how I really believe, man, I'm gonna leave that man's name or that man's
then he won.
My business.
No,
bro, then he won.
I can't let you slap me in my mouth, Chris, and I shut the fuck up. At that point,
then he won. Yeah,
because then he won. There's no way. There's no way.
Dog, just think about this, Chris. Think about this. If I slap you in the mouth and then you never say nothing about my wife again, the slap worked. But if I slap you in your mouth and for Netflix gave him $40 million for 2 1-hour shows. $40 million for 2 1-hour shows. So for 2 hours, if I call your wife 362 bitches and get $40 million and continues to do this for the next 10 years.
Show me the money.
You don't think I won?
No, I got one better, Mario.
You didn't stop nothing I'm doing, dog.
But you didn't stop nothing I'm doing. You slapped me to stop doing something. I'm saying you slapped me. You slapped me to stop something. You slapped me to stop something.
He did worse. He allowed you. I allowed you to eat because I could have stopped everything.
You cannot do nothing but run your goddamn mouth and tell jokes. That's what you do because you are weak.
You're gonna lose this, Chris.
I agree with all that.
Wait a minute. You are losing so many battles. I'm not talking about Will, right? So think about this. I did that. She leave me in the wind, right? Before that, we had the we just gonna start the entanglement, not the other stuff, right? Then we look at the red table where I don't love him. It's hard to make love to him. I never wanted to get married. I mean, at some point, what are you fighting for, Will? So that I always said the slap wasn't.
Hey, so Chris seen it, right? All y'all seen it. So in the point he said, Meghan Markle, what is this bitch crying for? So the prince should slap him too, right?
Yeah. If the prince is a slapping.
Will Smith before this day. Before this day, Will Smith was not a slapper because we've acknowledged that a lot of people have said stuff about Will Smith's wife and he's never slapped nobody before. So I'm saying because Chris Rock not only talked about Jada in this, he talked about Meghan Markle for a big portion of this about the bitch whining so much. So I'm saying the prince should be looking for him as we speak to slap the shit out of him again too.
If we're going to take it as an isolated situation, I don't think neither one of those wives are worth getting up slapping a man for. If that's
I'm saying you said
one of those wives are worth it. No, I'm not saying a wife isn't worth it. I'm not saying a wife isn't worth it. I'm saying neither one of those two wives would, in my opinion,
about they might want to slap you.
I get you. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't want to make it an isolated Jada event. See, what people trying to do is say he keeps picking on Jada. He keeps picking on this on Jada. He just called Meghan Markle and the same thing a bitch. So everybody overlooked that? Bro, this is Chris Rock. That's my point. It's not just about Jada. This is how he talks. So people gonna act like they don't see him go spend 10 minutes on Meghan Markle. So that don't matter?
I don't
disrespecting her don't matter?
I don't have no problem with it. I'm just saying the last thing that man said to you, keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Forget that. And guess what? When you don't respect somebody, you give a damn what they say.
Right, Chris, and he didn't. And
but you don't have to say that to me, Chris.
But you did. I
just want to keep niggas on wife's name on my mouth.
But talking about how small you is. That's how you did that. Ducking and hiding when you could. My bad. Yeah. You don't look at it the same way.
When you don't respect somebody, do you care what they tell you?
Well, yeah, because I don't. Because I'm gonna come see you about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't respect
you. I'm gonna come and see you about it.
Chris, everybody ain't Chris. Everybody not Chris.
Everybody ain't Chris.
Chris ain't shit. But at the same time, dog, come on, man.
I get you, but that's not reality for a lot of people.
That's not Will Smith. But what Chris said don't have nothing to do with what Will Smith did. Because I'm saying if you're gonna have that attitude, I feel the same way. But I'm never apologizing. So you can't, just like you saying, Chris Rock can't have it both ways. Will Smith can't have it both ways. You can't be, I'm gonna slap me a bitch who disrespect my wife. Hey, I'm sorry, brother. Oh, he did it again. Slap him again. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. You can't do both ways. The minute you disrespect my wife, I'm never apologizing. Never.
I wish he would have handled it that way. Yes.
But he didn't. So we got to keep this. That's why I said we got to keep this timeline all the same. You felt your wife was disrespected. The man never apologized. You slapped him. He never apologized. You apologized.
He still called her a bitch. He still called her a bitch.
No, never apologized. So that means what he said, he meant. Oh, your sister just said, put it back up. He's been disrespecting your wife since the 90s. Why did you apologize then?
I wish he would have.
Will got bigger problems than.
Right. But that's what I want to know. So if you slap him, why do you apologize? I'm gonna keep saying this. Just like you said, you would never I would never in my life apologize for slapping a bitch that disrespect my wife. If I felt that you disrespect my wife. So accordingly, he didn't slap Chris Rock he slapped Chris Rock because that was the easy win because of everybody else. It wasn't even about him per se. It was about this is an easy target. Every time I turn on the radio, I'm entanglement, you a bitch, entanglement, you a bitch. Now this nigga gonna say it, or I'm gonna slap his little ass. Bro, that's a bully.
Listen, I don't know what happened behind closed door, but I know Jada has given Will. At one time, we was worried this man might take his own life. There has been a long train of L's dealing with this woman for him trying to portray this image. I don't know if it's what it say until the wheels fall off, we for life. No, I don't know.
That's another thing. That's another thing I got an issue with. That's another thing. We always say that it's the Tupac thing.
He said it.
I don't understand this. When Jada met Tupac, when Jada met Tupac in high school, Tupac was more like Will Smith at that time.
He said it. He said it at the red
place. He wasn't Tupacalypse at the time when they had their relationship.
One thing I don't do.
Like Will Smith. So it makes Will Smith an obvious choice because Tupac was like Will Smith when Jada was dealing with him.
Allegedly in your mind. When I sat down and looked at the red table talk, because that's what you gotta do. And I heard them two people out their own mouth, him say that and her say that. I said, that's crazy for your wife to look you right in your face and say she still had it, and he felt like he had to be Tupac because that was the greatest love. Like, it don't matter if she felt that way. I'm talking about what Will said. Jada might have felt just like you. It don't matter. He's not the one going around stopping people. Jada might be saying, Will, I didn't like Tupac when he was a gangster. I liked him when he was a poet. In Will's head, Will said out of his mouth, I felt like I was living. No, that's craziness. Bro, for you to have that. So I want to know this, fellas, and I'm going to shut up. So he just called your wife another 62 bitches. What you going to do now, then? Because you just apologized, and you got a movie coming out.
Well, we know what Chris going to do. Chris going to have to say it.
Can we clear up a myth before that question?
What's that?
Do y'all, at this point, let's be honest, and I'm not going to tell you because I'm a little biased. You know, Tupac is blood with me. That's my cousin. Y'all really believe, I don't know why you're laughing, that's real talk. You really believe that Pac didn't ever smash her?
I don't know.
You believe that do you believe anything Jada said in her life?
I don't even think it matters because she speaks so highly of him. So it don't matter if my wife fucked the man or not. If she make him God to me, then it don't matter if he fucked because he's God. So shit. So if she talk about a nigga like, oh man, I remember we was on the boat and her eyes flicker and all that, it don't matter if he hit because he got her heart. He took her soul. That's worse than just hitting one night drunk after the club. He got her. If Tupac could be resurrected right now, Will Smith would kill Tupac. You think he slapped Chris Rock? If Tupac could come back to life right now, Will Smith would be so scared he'll take that murder charge because he know Jada done. Jada done. Daughter know that. His daughter said she wish she had met Tupac. Man,
damn.
Bro, and she keeping love letters from 30, 40 years. And poems. Damn. You can't beat that. You can't battle that, Chris, because it's something in the heart and mind. It's a fantasy.
Look, I'm not suggesting anybody marry Jada Smith. I am not a supporter of that. I'm not a supporter of Will slapping. I'm just not a supporter of the female defense. Well, I do something to offend you. You react to it, whatever way you reacted, because we can't choose how someone react. And then you start talking about, well, you should have did it because I'm small. No, bro, you did this. You brought this on yourself. It ain't about you being small now. It's about you holding yourself accountable for what the hell you said. I know he probably took it the wrong way. He probably went out, jumped off the ledge, being stupid that day. But still, bro, stand on it and don't be telling the world, well, he shouldn't have did it because I'm small. No, shut up because you small. Stop joking. Stop. Close your fuck box because you small.
He ain't gonna do it.
Yes. We need to come back and evaluate where does this anger come from in this topic. You are very angry at this moment.
I'm just saying.
I mean, there's a lot coming up.
This like some little kid coming and just selling out. I don't want to say kid. I want to say just some little dude just selling out to you, knowing he can't do nothing to you. And then when something happened, he walked 10, 20 feet away and just the biggest gangster in the world selling out.
Well, I'm glad I
respect that type of stuff.
I'm glad I'm with it with the words.
Huh?
I'm glad I'm with it with the words and jokes, and I can fight. I'm glad. See, because a lot like, bro, you come call my wife, bitch, and you married, and you got a mama and a grandma. See, that's the thing. He can't. Regardless of, let's just say they fight. Will Smith still can't beat Chris Rock with the jokes on stage. So you're gonna lose that battle every time, even if you can beat him. Even if Chris Rock had to beat Will Smith that day, he still could. Then if he beat your ass that day and do this, then what? Because that's my point. You this is my arena. He's a jokester. Will, you an actor. You dead because you can't make a movie about me.
What
like I could do 10 specials. I can go give Netflix a deal right now and say, give me $1,000 a show, and I can run Jada's a Bitch Part 10 all the way down until so all your kids will have to see these reviews on these reruns on Netflix of me calling their grandma, their great grandma, their mama, and their great great grandma a bitch 62,000 more times. And then you slap me once, and I'm gonna have to live that down because I can't do nothing about that. But what is that?
You probably the type of nigga that'll go slash a nigga teeth and car tires too.
Yeah.
You know what? Call a job to get him fired. You probably one of them type of niggas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You made a valid point because we still sit back and watch Richard Pryor lives and Eddie Murphy Raw because of what our father said about this. So think about his grandchildren.
Right.
How that was strategically done. I'm right back to that was
mastermind.
Okay, so let's have a conversation about it.
Residual income.
Let's have a conversation about it. Let's just say we got the tale of two grandpas.
Yeah.
Do you want your grandson to come up with you getting slapped or just some jokes?
You know what's crazy part about it? The amount of money that he's gonna make, they don't even care about getting slapped. They probably get slapped all the time.
Both are making
lots of. Yeah, no, I don't want to get slapped.
I want to answer that. Think about this. Chris Rock is going to raise his grandkids or whatever to see his perspective. So he's going to tell him, yeah, we got to stop, but look at the checks. You know what I mean? So it's all about
You didn't stop my checks. As
None
Will
of us
Smith,
wanna
you didn't
get
stop my checks neither. My checks coming too. Since we talking about money, mine's is coming too. I just put out Emancipation, doing really, really well.
That movie sucks.
I think not. I like
it. I'm saying, Chris, you're looking at it in all cases because once again, Chris Rock could have stopped it. That's my point. See, so you're looking at best case scenario. But if Chris Rock was the nigga you saying, he could have been like, officer, that's him. Arrest him. And I won't charge him.
That's why I respected him so much, dog. Yeah. That's why I respected when this happened. I respected the hell out of Chris Rock for saying, no, I'm not putting the law into this. I ain't even finna rap about this. So everybody can talk how they want to talk.
It's Grammy. Bro, this thing about all the shit
Will Smith apologized. So I'm like, bro, Chris Rock won this. You apologize. The only thing I didn't like is the continued violation of his wife. At some point, do we draw the line somewhere? I guess not. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, the defense of she started it and I'm small. That is a weak defense to me, in my opinion.
Hey, you know what's funny about that though? Hold on 1 second, Chris. It's a guy that we know that was from the hood, and he would do something similar. And everybody respected him for being so hood and everything else, and he would cause problems. Then when they get on his ass, he go on and find the law. And then once he got the law on his side, he do whatever he wanted. There's nothing that you can do because it's documented. I keep telling you, it's smart. Forget the macho, Camacho jump, whatever. You slapped it, it's over. You can't take the slap back. Everybody knows he slapped, but this man played chess. We always talk about playing chess and checkers. You're talking about checkers. This man played chess. Forget the slap.
I don't think so.
I feel so. I'm telling you. But if a man, okay, Hardy just said it. He called him.
Let me draw my line. Let me answer a couple questions, not to push it on that Chris said. I don't want Chris Rock legacy. I don't want my grandchildren to ever see me get slapped. 2, I don't think it's honorable to get slapped. I'm not getting slapped. I'm not a slapper kind of guy. So I'm never saying turn your head and get slapped. I don't think he won for that. I think being that type of guy. See, I could put myself say being that type of guy, what else could you have done? Like, I'm not that type of guy. So I understand. A bitch not coming to slap me. But I'm not that type of guy. But those type of guys, that's the best defense you can have for that type of guy. If you're just a bit like, it's people right now who we know, we done been in fights in Orlando, and you know, like, this nigga do not want to fight. Like it just, he can't. He's frozen. That's who Chris Rock is. I know them people. So for those people, it's almost asinine to ask him to defend himself. He can't. But most of those people shut up. Most of them people shut up and they don't say nothing. For Chris Rock to be that scary and that bitch and still come back and call your wife, that's what I'm saying. What do Will do now? Because I already know I can cause harm to you. I can beat you. We know that. It's nothing I can do. But one thing I can't do is stop you from disrespecting my wife. Dog, imagine that. If you whoop a nigga, slap a nigga, embarrass him, and he still disrespect your wife, what do you do?
Pretty much this is almost like a Charleston White scenario.
It is. It's dog. That's the worst, dog. I don't feel. That's why I say I feel bad for Will. Cause bro, I would hate to be in that situation where like you almost forcing me to throw my life away. Mm-hmm. Dog, I gotta punish you on camera brutally. And even then, if you live, you're gonna get up and do another special because you don't care about getting worked. So how do you whoop a nigga who don't care about getting whooped?
Woo! Think about this, Mario. Listen, I'm calling her a bitch. Now I'm about to see how much she mean to you because I'm sure. Boy,
the next show he come on up and see, I called his wife 62 bitches and he ain't do nothing because he apologized. That's what I'm saying, dog. That's why you got to say, you got to know what fights to pick. You got to know when to hold them. See, wisdom has to come into your mind at some point. I learned it. I can argue with this dude, but I got too much to look like. At some point, I'm not saying Will didn't do what I wouldn't have did emotionally. So I'm never saying that. I'm just saying at some point, Will, this is why Chris Rock won. Because Will has no more defenses. People keep saying he didn't win. He won. Because Will cannot do nothing else to stop this. Will's only point was what, Chris? Keep my name, my wife's name out your mouth. You slapped him. You can't stop him from getting money. You can't stop him from getting women. You can't stop him from being famous. and he never has to keep putting your wife's name in his mouth. So you lost.
Well,
Hey,
this is
ain't
when
nobody
you
support
call
Will
on
Smith. Ain't
the
nobody
great.
support Chris. Ain't nobody supporting Will Smith but feminists.
That's what I'm saying. This is when you call on the great power of the feminists and have them come to your side and cancel Chris Rock. Will you gotta what you gotta do is get on TV, tell them men is bad. You support gay rights, and then you can fight Chris. You can fight him back.
And
and you got to get on there and say, "I'm the real victim," and cry.
Jewish Adam Sandler. Let me take Chris Rock friend. The white royalty of comedy is his homeboys, not Jamie Foxx and Wesley Snipes and all. I'm talking about the white hierarchy, and not even that.
Seinfeld.
Bro, it's still gonna be hard for feminists. Feminists are more gangster than Chris Rock. Dog, Chris Rock still can say, bro, this man put his hands on me. I never put his hands on his wife or him. He slapped me. He imposed harm on me. Bro, it's gonna be hard. That's the worst. I feel so sorry for damn Will Smith, bro. I would hate to be in this situation because it's like you with your third strike and then keep going by your house calling you a pussy, but you know if you hit him, you're going back to jail for that. That's how this feels. That's how this feels if you Will Smith. Like, I'm on my third strike, but he keep calling me pussy. But if I know, for my honor, if I hit him, then I'm going back to jail for the rest of my dog. This is how Will Smith, dog. This man.
That's
a win, Chris. It's called a win. It's a win.
But do you ever want to be the guy that's continuously riding around the house calling them a bitch? Just because that's your only defense.
Think about being so whipped like Will is. You know, if you go to jail, she about to take that Kuda Cat on tour while you locked up for whatever days. This the Jada
not even that
on the tabletop tour. She
still wins.
And no, Tootie, not even that. When you get tried, when she come up and the camera say, you know your husband slapped him again. She gonna say, yeah, I told him the first time not to do it. See, I don't know why he keeps slapping that good man. I told him to leave that man alone. Oh, people keep talking about defending her, bro. My wife, dog, dog, I ain't trying to be funny. You know how I feel about a lot of stuff in life. If I'm defending you, and I don't care if I was dead wrong, you don't get up there and the first thing out your mouth say is, yeah, he was wrong. What? I almost lost my life. I lost my money. They were talking about taking my only Oscar, and the first thing you said, I don't care if you thought I was dead wrong. You make me sleep on the couch. Don't do whatever you want. You don't get in front of a camera and say, yeah, now Will Smith overreacted. What? In your name? But see, women ignore that. Women ignore that part. They'll be like, Will, good job. You defended your wife. He been taught, good job, Will. Good. But nobody gonna say that Jada went soon as he got put on the stand, Jada was the number one witness.
Caught the plea.
Dog, nobody said nothing about that. So now this man, dog, that's why one thing I'm gonna shut up. He said, guess what he said in the thing that made me so, he said, no, Jada Pickens hurt him way more than he had ever hurt me.
Who that was a good one?
That he had ever hurt me. Bro, you know why that hurt? Because every man in this world who watching this show know that that's the truth.
Yes.
The pain that Jada can cause him is nowhere near. Bro, I've been in many fights and I ain't won them all. But heartbreak tear you down.
That's why I disagree with his opener. But I can't remember I can't feel nail punch I ever got in nail fight. But I can remember when somebody said something to hurt me. I can remember and it brings back those same memories. I can remember shit my mama said. I remember shit women said. I remember shit. I can remember jokes at the wrong time.
So now we know why you're so mad. Because you felt defensive. You wanted to punch them people, but you couldn't. Right. I understand. Right. Now we talking through this.
Sensitive like that.
We did it.
You got because the thing is, dog, I grew up like Chris Rock, shy, timid. It took going to, like I said, even in the beginning with Coach Ross, just by pushing myself harder than I ever did, that built something to me. And then when I went off on my own, I had no choice but to toughen up. So I understand where Chris coming from, and that's why I say at some point you gotta let it go. You take some kind of defense class or something so that you don't feel like that no more. I know how that helps you feel.
Yeah, that sounds good, Chris. But the reality is, in a perfect world, we grew up. See, a lot of stuff that we got, maybe our trauma helped us because we didn't have daddies. We had uncles. We had the people on the corner, but we had JT money once again. And if Will Smith had some JT money in his life, right now in life, Will Smith will probably be out here. Ain't nowhere in the world Will Smith can't go and get jiggy. But he right here stuck with this thing here.
You talking to
got to be feeling kill yourself, saying he ain't real, but you ain't real yourself.
Man, you talking to the guy that went on tour with Luke Skywalker though.
And they learn a damn thing.
Bruh, white people love Will Smith. Everybody love Will Smith. You could leave Jada tomorrow and have a harem, if that's the term. Boy, you could go around the world. Well, that's what you were doing. And then you find out she was doing it. Now you want to kill yourself. Come on, JT. Go get him. Go get him. Boy, she wasn't real, but she was real. Damn it, JT money. Go save her, man.
We ain't go long.
Always do.
Hey, man, listen. I'm closing it out because we could talk about that beat. I thought I was going to do it. Did not do it. Closing comments from Chris, the feminist supporter.
I don't know why I get labeled that. I just see things from a slightly different perspective. That's all, ladies.
Wait a minute, Chris. Chris, this is funnier.
Richard Head.
Hey man, thank you guys for coming out tonight. This was an interesting conversation. It was supposed to be a really, really short, slow show, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it, man. Y'all buy a mug though. You're hating on us at this point. If you ain't bought a mug yet, you're hating. And the only thing worse than a hater is a two haters. So get your friend together and buy two mugs. God damn it.
Hey, I want to say first off, this was a good show. Chris produced it. These were his topics. But I do want to say so this week. My mom was talking about how she watched the show and she was saying, "Oh, it's good." She said, "Me and your daddy watched the show." She said, "I never knew Mario cuss so much." I said, "What? You had, let me tell you more, Mama." She's like, "Mario's always the civilized one. I gotta talk to Mario." Somebody, Mario cuss like that? I was like, "What?"
He the reason why she won't even come on the show. She expect this type of behavior from the rest of us, but she was completely appalled by this guy right here. And he's the reason why she would not come on the show. I asked her to come on the show last week, and she was like, "No, I can't come on the show. All this stuff going on in that show." And one of y'all just really shocked me. I would have never thought one of y'all would talk like that. This man, and he's supposed to be the good guy.
Hey, it's just show business. This is not me. Once this time goes out, this character goes off. It's a character for the internet.
This is not me. Don't kill me with this shit, man. Okay, y'all 30 years.
I don't know how to hold tie nobody.
That man for the rest of his life. I don't know how to hold tie nobody.
I don't know how to hold tie nobody.
I was crying when I seen that.
Yeah. Hey, FKL King, though, y'all act like y'all trying to help that man. You hookers always put black men. Bro, two places I would never go on: Vlad TV or Gail King. They're gonna convict you before you get to court. And I gotta give it up to Vlad. Hell, they just be volunteering. Yeah, back in the day, we sold them 8 slides right over on 30th Street. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you guys did? Yeah, man, it was easy too. Like, I be on listening to Vlad, like, boy, you guys, y'all a different generation of suckers, boy.
Oh man,
Red Rooster,
my brothers. Man, it was always a pleasure sharpening our minds, talking about these different topics. I appreciate everyone that showed up. In the name of my brother Chris, hit the Cash App, get your mug. Don't be a hater. And definitely don't be two haters. Good night.
I want to thank Zay for his mic that warms up and gets hot.
Appreciate the love, Don. I see you cheek to cheek with Horace. You gotta tell me something about that picture too. I gotta find.
Wait a minute. She deleted the picture.
She
got too much heat.
She
deleted the picture. She said, "Nah, too many people asked a question." She deleted the picture. I said, "You shaming our love, dog?" Oh man.
Hey, listen, your foot in the door, bro. Just go ahead and shoot.
Yes, we talked about Dwyer at the beginning of the show. One time for Dwyer High School, the only school that let people go to school for 3-4 hours and call it work experience.
Hey,
no, that school had dropout prevention, challenged kids. We all went to school together. Everybody was one big melting pot. Dog. I love that damn school.
Bro, that was a village. It was like going into a real life. You had people who you didn't know what they were gonna do at lunch any day. Now you got to hit the button. Then you had like people who was shot. Then you had rich white people. Then you had Gothic. You had the people wearing all black with the paint under their eyes. Then you had just regular hood people. Dog, Dwyer had everything. Any kind of person, you had to see the strangest things any given day at Dwyer, boy.
Well, the brilliance of the school was that they built it way, way, way out there, but nobody had to see y'all foolery, and nobody had to see the police going to the school, and it made it way out there.
And you would think it would have been hard to get out, and it wasn't. You can walk right out the front gate.
Yeah, you gonna go.
You can walk right out the front gate. Hey, thank y'all for coming.
Was the gates to keep the crime out or keep our ass in?
Shout out to Roy Kent, Dwyer coach.
Yeah.
Hey, I say thank everybody for coming, man. I love the conversation with y'all. We were just talking about shows, and I watch a lot of podcasts, and I always say that anybody who see this and say that us four don't have different point of views depending on what the topic is, or you get all kind of ways to look at stuff and point of view. That's the beauty of this show. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you're looking at it, understand like you're getting 4 heterosexual men. I say that proudly. And that really have that are cool though. I say that's the difference. It's not like one is on the right side and one is on the left side. No, all of us, no matter what side, we all homeboys. And you can see how a group of dudes cannot be monolithic. You can't put all of us in the same patch because we hang together. You can see us at any point in time together, knowing that it's different shit going on in our heads. Completely different. So I say that's I'm gonna leave that little one jewel to women. Understand, just because you see a group of men, don't understand. You could be seeing 6 different dudes hanging together because they all have one thing in common. So we're not like a little bit different than ladies. We don't need too much in common to say that's my dog. Normally it's time and loyalty. So thank you for coming to see the Black Super Friends. See you again Monday.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Bishop Cognac, who protected me from an angry mob of studs that was wanting to attack me last night. And second of all, I would never take a drink from that joker again. I fell asleep looking at the ceiling with my eyes wide open. A drink at the inlet is like 4 drinks in one. And I shouldn't have been drinking, so that's what makes it worse. I really needed that drink, but he gave it to me. So who knows what else was in that drink? So shout out to Bishop Cognac and all the studs that could not get to me.
No, you ever wanted to hit a stud?
What?
You ever wanted to hit a stud?
No, I wouldn't even answer that on camera.
The young kids will call that gay, Chris.
That's gay?
That's what the young kids.
Hey, shout out to the brat who's pregnant with a child.
You don't want to hit the brat?
No. That's gay.
Missy Elliott?
Absolutely.
You gotta let some box get by you, Chris.
Listen, Missy was better when she was big. Now she's small, that big old head.
No, I'm gonna hit the Brett and Missy. I'm sorry, I was answering the work call. Yeah, I'm gonna hit both of them.
Nah.
I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying, bro. Like, no, I don't, not a butch, but you know.
Yeah, people forget about the brat that time when she had that kid like back. Remember that time she came? I was like, "What? That's the brat?" Because I never seen you with them baggy
When
clothes
she was
on
in
back
Lake
in the
Worth?
day.
When they was in Lake Worth?
I don't know what it was, but you know what I'm talking about. That picture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they filmed the video in Lake Worth.
yeah. I know why she took the baby this time.
Well, I really want to know who's the pappy, but that's just the nosy side of me. Want to know did they really? Because if she did, it's a possibility that it ain't gonna be the last time. But we'll see what happens when that child come out. We
It
all
might
gonna
be
be.
Ricky Smiley's.
Listen. You know when the baby come out,
Didn't they?
social media gonna do they due diligence and be putting up side by side trying to figure out who the pappy is. So we'll see. We thank y'all for joining us for another week on the most amazing podcast from around the world called the Black Super Friends, who is officially uncontested, a trademark and 100% owned Black show as of yesterday. Thank you for joining us again.